Yeah, it's plugged in on power. That is switch here. We must have some lights or something. It's dead. Okay. Secondly, we can play with the power supply. It's on 12. It's already on 12 volts, 11 points. Here at the back, here, we have these connections, black and minus, that the 12 volts input for the DC. And still, it's taking 17, 18 milliamps, and we have nothing. We have nothing, no light, no anything. I don't think it's supposed to work like this. So that is our problem today. That is our problem today. So let me open and try to diagnose what can be wrong here. So that the inside of the amplifier, we do have the power supply here. We have the audio amplifier board, which I believe is class D, based on the configuration of coils. So if this amp is not working, first we have to pay attention on the switching power supply to see if the switching power supply is working. So what is the first step? We do have a fuse here. Let's check the fuse here. And the fuse is good. If the fuse is good, we assume that the primary stage of the switching power supply is working. So I'll concentrate on the secondary. We have these cables. We have some cables here. You can see these wires here. The other one is VCC. Second wire is ground, minus 8 volts and plus 5 volts. So what we can do here, we can connect the power supply and check the output to see if all the voltage they are present. So let's connect the power supply. The power supply is connected. What I want to do, I want to check the output. Pin number 1, we do have 12 volts. Pin number 2 is ground. This is supposed to be minus 8 volts. And this is supposed to be 5 volts. And the 5 volts is always on even if the amp is off. That is standby voltage. And it's missing. You can see 0, 0. So diode mode, checking the 5 volts output to the ground, and it's beeping to ground. That means the 5 volts is shorted. So we can disconnect this cable and check where the short is coming from. From the audio amplifier board, no, it's not shorted. You can see there's no beep here. If we check first pin to ground, first pin to ground, where's ground? I can take ground from the USB ports here. It's not ground, it's not shorted. If I check here, first pin is gone. So obvious the 5 volts regulator is not outputting anything. So you understand why this amp is not working? We just found the problem in less than 5 minutes. Our problem, we don't have 5 volts, and because the 5 volts for the standby is shorted to ground. That's the explanation which I have here. So let's take out this power supply. Let's take out the power supply. We don't need many things here. We need the power supply only. That's the power supply. You can see how nice is this power supply. Let me bring it close to the webcam. That's the power supply. So what can be the issue here? The issue is the 5 volts is shorted to ground. This is just a normal basic switching power supply. We have the fuse here, which is protecting the circuit. We have 4 diodes, which are rectifying AC to DC. After that, we have this. We have a coil to boost the voltage, and this big capacitor, the 440 volts capacitor. And underneath this, I believe that is the driver. Yeah, that's the driver for this switching power supply. And we have the main chopper here, and that is probably, that should be the Scotch diode on the secondary to ensure that we have stable voltage on the output. So now we need to come with 5 volts to see what is taking that current. 5 volts. Pin number 1. You can see 2.7. Something is taking that 2.7 amps. What about this double diode? The double diode is cool. Here we have a chip on the other side. Yeah, the chip is gone. This one. You see this? I wish someone to see this. I wish someone to see this, what I'm seeing here. So that's the chip which is taking that current. I'll supply 5 volts. And we'll pay attention. We'll pay attention to the chip. You can see the chip. Let's increase the current. I want to see this chip smoking. Check the chip is boiling. Hope someone is seeing what I'm seeing here. That chip is drying quickly. Check what the chip is doing. It's already dry. Huh? One more time. Check what the chip is doing. The chip is gone. So that is our problem. That's the 5 volts regulator. The question is, how are we going to fix this? Huh? How are we going to fix this? The chip is out. The chip is out. Now, we can test again. Let's lower 4 amps is too much. Pin number 1. There's no more short again. So the question is, how are we going to fix this? We have plus and minus 12 volts here. Where this plus is going? The plus 12 volts from this main connector. What is here? It's coming from this capacitor on the output. Okay. So what we need now? We need some kind of modification here. Some kind of modification. You know how we are replacing the 5 volts power supply? We are coming with a linear regulator 7805. But today, I think we can go on the other direction. What do you think? Huh? What do you think about this? Huh? What do you think about this? This is a car charger. This is a car charger which is working with 12 volts. And we have the clips here for plus and minus. And here we have the output, this black wire, and some charging cables of various phones. This can be our regulator. Huh? Don't you think so? Let's try. Let's try. It's a case that we have to know. Let's cut this. We don't need these USB cables. We don't need this. We don't need these pegs. Let's do some dodgy repair here. Because I don't have the chip. That's why maybe if we have the chip, you can just replace the chip and the amp will come back to life. But in our case, we don't have the chip, but we need this really to be fixed. We really want this to be fixed. So what I would do, We have a new regulator. That's our new regulator. And how much is this? This is $1. So if this is going to work, that would be great. That would be great to us because it will be economic, because it's very cheap. So now we need plus, so that the plus wire and the minus, the input we have sorted. Now we have to sort the output. We have two wires here, the minus and plus. We have two wires here. I'm curious to see if this can work as a regulator in our case. If this is not going to work, we use our old method, 7805 regulator. We have many linear regulator to use, but I just want to do it in a different way today. Because on the output 5 volts is missing. Five volts is missing. Pin number 1. Pin number 1, that's the plus. Plus pin. And pin number 3, that's the ground. Perfect. Now, can we test? Let's test to see if we have a working regulator. Minus. Plus. Let's check some voltages here. Volts. Here we have 12 volts. This one 0. This one is 0. And we have 5.8 volts. So probably minus 8 volts is switching on after we have turned on the amplifier. So we have to test. Let's see now. That's our regulator. This one. I put all the connections together and it's now time for testing. Power on. You can see the light. And we have the USB already here. Plug in the flash. Must indicating that it's playing. So now we have to connect a speaker to see if we have any sound here. But this can be a disappointment. This kind of amplifier. You fix the power issue, the next thing you find out there's no sound. Here 0. Here 0. Huh? Or my speaker is dead. Don't tell me that the sound I see is also dead. No, this is a good speaker. This is actually a good speaker. So we have not yet done anything here. We fixed the power issue. Now we have problem with the sound. You see this small board here, underneath this heatsink there's a chip there, and that chip is fault. That's why I hate fixing such kind of jobs. I try to avoid such kind of jobs because it's time consuming. It's not worth it to spend much of time. How much is this small amplifier? It's very cheap. But for the purpose of video, let's do some modification. You remember this? This is TPS 3118, if I do remember well. Some kind of audio amplifier board. And you know these boards can be used to bring up sound when we don't have sound. You can modify and bring back the sound. So I think we can do just for the purpose of this video. The connections are very simple here. We have plus and minus the input. We have speaker connections here, and we have connections for the volume adjustment. So let's do it. Let me connect to all the cables and we'll come back to test again. So what we have done here, that the power supply, just a recap of what we have done here. We opened the amplifier, it was not coming on because the 5 volts was missing because of a faulty driver. This one. This is a regulator which is regulating 5 volts, which is always on. After replacing the regulator with our own regulator, this one, that's the car charger, we just connect the input 12 wire, 2 wires on the input 12 volts and 2 wires on the output 5 volts here on this connector, and the sound did not come up. What did we do more? We modify by this sound module. This is some kind of classic module. This is TPS 3118. If you want to buy this one, you can check it on AliExpress. It's very cheap, around 2 years. Modulator, $1 for 2 or even $1. So it's economic. What we have done here, it's worth to do it. Of course, there are so many ways to kill a cat, but I just show my way how I can fix this. So this module is very simple. The connections, we have 2 wires which are going again on the 12 volts input, and we have 4 wires for the right and left channel of the speakers, and we have 3 wires which are going to the to the volume control potentiometer, if that's the name of this adjustable resistor, adjustable switch resistor, I don't know. So it's time to test. It's time to test. So I'll connect 12 volts here, because this is coming from a rural customer who is using DC input. So I'll move attention to the DC input, and it's on. As you can see here, we have an indicating light which indicates that there must be some music on this amp. So let's connect the speaker. We have the speaker here, and see if everything is working. First channel, plus and minus. Hey, the volume is too high. It's working. You hear the sound quality? It's perfect. And you can adjust it. Is this not beautiful? Huh? Is this not beautiful? If you can improvise and fix something and bring back to life. Let's check the second channel. The second channel, just to make sure that all the channels they are working. The sound quality, everything, the frequency is just beautiful. So yeah, that was some kind of play, because I have time, so I can play modifying things just to bring back the sound. So instead of using a linear regulator 7805, we replace this. That is our linear regulator, this car charger, because it's outputting 5 volts. And also what I've done, you remember this board for the audio amplifier, the original board. When I first put all together, the sound was not coming out because the original IC was interrupting this module. So I took out the original sound IC here, which was blown up. And these are the pieces. You can see the pieces. Yeah. The chip was blown up, but I didn't see because there was it was under this heat sink. So this is beautiful. This is beautiful. Let's test again one more time. When I consider solitude's play, now when I'm playing, the sound is just perfect. No scratches, just smooth. When I consider solitude's play, now when I'm playing, nobody can till another day. Yeah, I'm happy. The customer will be happy also. I was just modifying things here to see the other alternative to fix things. This is very important to beginners who are starting to do electronics. You can modify things and bring back sound. This is also important to less developed countries, like developing countries who are still using such kind of cheap amplifier. This is very cheap. But on someone who is on a developed country, probably this is a boring video. So like, subscribe, don't forget to turn on the notification bell for future updates. Also share our videos to beloved friends and relatives, girlfriends, ex-girlfriends, enemies, and everyone around the world, everywhere where I can't reach. I want these videos to reach there. See you on the next one. Bye.